Pretend I'm whistling. Thank you. There we go. Woo! Do we have the list? All right. Any new members at the table that have never been here at the table before to represent their neighborhood? Raise your hand. All right. Gentleman right here next to Ed. Can someone take a microphone? Okay, we're on a roll this morning. If you could tell us your neighborhood, introduce yourself, that would be super duper.
So my name is Mike Hassett. I live in Broadway Promenade. Most of you are familiar with Charlie Naglesmith. He's having some medical challenges. He and I are having conversations about whether he'll phase out and I'll phase in, or whether we'll just do these. Good morning and nice to meet everybody.
Welcome, welcome. Did I see any other, another raised hand over here, McClellan Park?
Welcome.
Hi, I'm not so newbie because I've been here before, but I'm now the official delegate for McClellan Park. My name is Natalie LaFontana, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
Welcome, thank you. All right, we have some special guests this morning we want to thank for giving up their Saturday morning with us. We have Commissioner Jen Ahern Koch in the back. We have Steve Cover, All Things Planning. Thank you. We have, of course, Nancy Kelly, our one and only. And I just want to, before we jump to the next person, acknowledge that the city approved the grants. Approved the grants for everyone that turned in a grant. It was an amazing turnout with 18 communities asking for money, the highest number ever. And Nancy is now out of money, so if you didn't ask, you're tough on luck. You'll have to wait till next year. And that's just a little thing for the commissioners. Maybe she can have more money for next year. Also, we have with us this morning Commissioner Kathy Kelly Ulrich. And we have, of course, Mr. Pat Robinson, Deputy City Manager. Whitney Costa from Code Compliance. Good morning, Whitney. We miss you in our neighborhood. And County Commissioner Mark Smith is here. Good morning, Mark. And, of course, his beautiful wife, Esther, is here. And, Esther, if you could stand up for a quick minute, we're going to do a little something fun. Today is Esther's birthday. We're going to sing to her real quick. Everybody, on three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Esther. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Thank you, Esther. Happy birthday, many more. And Esther has lovingly agreed to organize our holiday party this year. So she's going to have an assistant, but she's going to do most of the work. We have the holiday party sign-up sheet here today. It's going to be passed around the table. Please sign up for what you're bringing so when the committee meets this week, they know what they're looking at and we can plan accordingly. Thank you for that. Without further ado, we are going to go to Danny Robbins. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen Danny giving the police report, so let's give him some extra special love and treatment this morning. Danny, will you come up? Yes, please. By the way, we're running the meeting a little different today. We're going to end at 10:30 so that you can go outside and tour the mobile command unit that's here on site for us from the police department, as well as pick up your speeding signs, which you had a handout for this morning. So we're going to mix it up a bit. It's on you, Danny.
Can everybody hear me? Is that okay? If I
Yeah.
use my voice?
Yes.
Would you rather have the microphone like this?
Yes.
Microphone.
Microphone? I just hate the echo of my voice.
Okay.
Hear my voice. Awesome. Everybody hear me?
Yes.
I just get my Long Island accent, which I barely hear. So, good morning, everybody. Everybody enjoying this beautiful weather?
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous out. 5:30 this morning with my 3 dogs. It was beautiful. I'm going to make this quick. I know you have a filled agenda today, filling in for Matt. So I'm just going to go over, so comparing last year's crimes from January to October 2024 to January to October 2025. Real quick, in 2024, there was first crime statistic, murder, 7. This year, 2, a reduction of 5. Aggravated battery from 2024 was 179. This year, 118, a reduction of 61. Robbery from 2024 is 39. From 2025, it's 34, a reduction of 5. Sex crimes from 2024 is 18. From 2025 is 20, an increase in 2. I don't know why there was an increase. I don't get the reports. A burglary from 2024, 123. From 2025, 92, a reduction of 31. Larceny from vehicles from 2024, 118. From 2025, it has increased 127. It's increased by 9. And that's, we could do as a community, and I said this many times here, we have to lock our vehicles. We have to be accountable for ourselves by locking our vehicles. All these crimes, and looking at statistics and percentages, it has ranged from 70 all the way up to 89% of all the vehicles that have been burglarized have been vehicles that have been left unlocked. We need for you to lock your vehicles. These people are just walking down the street in a parking lot, in your neighborhood. They're looking for an opportunity to just pull open your door, get in there for 30 seconds, find whatever they can, and they're gone. That's all it takes, 30 seconds. So please, you have a key fob, lock your door. Help us out. We're in this together. Okay, we want to take this crime down to 0. We can, but we need your help. So please, use your key fob, lock the door every single time. Your car vehicle and also your home as well. Motor vehicle theft, 96 from 2024, 2025 is 86. Our total crimes from 2024 is 580. From 2025, 479. It's down 101 overall. So we're doing a great job, but the place that we can do better is just locking up our property. Okay, they're looking for the opportunity, open up the car, getting in there and taking what they can. November, okay, we have a lot of stuff as far as coming up as holidays, crime prevention tips, secure your home while you're away. Be vigilant when you're out shopping. Lock all your doors and windows. Even if you're just leaving for 15 minutes, running up to the convenience store, lock everything up. Like I said, it takes 30 seconds for someone to go in and take whatever they want. We don't want to see you being a victim. You can help us by taking away the opportunity from becoming a victim. If you see anything in your neighborhood suspicious, you know your neighborhood the best, give us a call. You're not bothering us. Oh, should I call, should I not call? If you're asking that question, you're doing the wrong thing. Call us. 911, let the dispatch, the operator decide if it's an emergency. Call us so we can go there. And if it's a suspicious person, then we can make contact with them. Meet with the officer. Give the officer the best description of the person. Take a snapshot of the image that you saw of the person. You know, as far as shirt, jacket, pants. Give us the best information. He might be concealing himself as far as in someone's car while we're talking. So we gotta do this together. We're in this together, so let's reduce the crime. As far as make the house secure, what can we do by that when we're away? Using smart lights, okay? Using smart equipment to turn on the TV and also the radio. Leave a vehicle parked in your driveway, making it look like someone's home. Know your neighbor, okay? I will say this, as far as growing up in Long Island, we had a block that was 15 houses on it. I knew everybody, okay? Florida is a little bit of a transient state as far as people come and go. Know your neighbor, okay? Ask for help when you're away. Hey, I'm gonna be going away. If you see anything, let me know. If you see any, there should be nobody at my house. I have smart lights that are gonna go on. If you see something in the driveway, please dial 911, then give me a call so we can do this together. Teamwork will win, okay? I'm gonna cut this. Anybody have any questions? Awesome, I think I did a great job, and I'll take it. So, thank you so much. Everybody have a great weekend, and across the street, we have the concert tonight, so hopefully we see everybody there enjoying themselves. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. All right, next up, we have the treasurer's report.
Good morning. We have $4,653.18. But the really exciting news is that it's dues time. So, you should each have one of these forms at your seat or at your table. We need each neighborhood to fill one out. We will need a roster showing your current board of directors. Your articles of incorporation and your bylaws, only if you're a new member. If you have previously submitted and they haven't changed, you don't need to do that. And then, of course, your check made payable to CCNA in the amount of $60. You can mail that to the address on the form. You can bring that to the next general meeting. Or if you hang tight, I'm working on getting some electronic means of payment, but I don't have that yet. But I will keep you posted.
The address, if they're gonna hand it.
Okay. Flo wants your forms.
If you're mailing them with the check, I'll make sure Phil gets it for you. You're welcome. Okay, we weren't going to do committee reports, but some things have happened since we planned the agenda, so we're going to just go over a couple of quick things. Ron, Eric, Paul?
Yeah, and you probably saw this flyer on your seat, and possibly saw the article that was in the Herald Tribune, because something really great happened with U.S. Recycling, and it's unusual to say. With only 48 hours left before a critical grant was due, U.S. Recycling's owner had a change of heart and decided to accept McDowell's offer. We only had a few hours before the grant was due, and CCNA reached out to City Hall and got a hold of Dave Bullock and Commissioner Ehun Koch, who dropped what they were doing and also gave recommendation letters for the grant, which will differentiate this grant from all others. So what does this mean? We can actually replace the toxic concrete dust facility with true affordable housing. We're talking about 158 families earning 30 to 70% AMI. So this is really a fantastic project and transformative. But we have a huge hurdle. The next step is December 16th, where the county commission is going to allocate funds. And we need everyone in the city to reach out and just voice their approval for this. If you speak out, the county will listen. So on this flyer, you'll see there's a QR code. If you just go to the CCNA site, the SarasotaPublic.com, that's where there's other surveys and petitions there. Just have the residents just voice their approval of this project, and we can actually get it done. Thanks.
That is fabulous news. Thank you, Ron. On the Stormwater and Flooding Committee, Steve Swall, myself, and Beth, as well as Nick, Sajay, and Andrew met with Ben Portermain and Hannah at the county to keep things moving. And one of the things we talked about was the 311 process. And what what we learned after we got the data back from all of you on where your flooding problems were, and then compared it to the 311 data that had been turned in, we found a lot of inconsistencies. And the thing that I want to share with you today that's hugely important, that you need to act differently in the future, do not call 311. Use the 311 system in the county's website. If you go on our website, we have a link to it to make it easy for you. But when you call, the data isn't captured 100% correctly, and you can't include a picture when you make a telephone call. Including a picture when you use the app really helps them see the problem so that their inspection process moves more quickly. Because the process is several steps. First, they get the 311 report, then it goes into their work order flow system. Then an inspection needs to happen, and then after the inspection happens, then something gets scheduled. So we can shorten up that inspection process if we give them better information. So use the system, not the telephone, to help move things along more quickly for you. Here's your wonderful moment of help me help you. Next thing, traffic calming has been an ongoing committee for over 3 years, and a lot of really great things have happened. Norm is sitting here somewhere, and I can't see him. Norm, raise your hand. Thank you. Norm is the chair of the portion working with the police department right now, and then 2 other members of the Phase 2 committee are here today. If you could raise your hand, Steve Martinucci and Hugh Fiore. These 2 guys, and then Karen Pariser, I don't see you, I don't know if you're here. These are the guys that are really working hard with city staff to make better improvements for our neighborhood speed. So I want to say thank you to you for everything you do. Thank you so much. Today, before you leave, you have one of these in your packet too. Each neighborhood is allocated 10 signs for your neighborhood, and there's a process if you want to put them in the right of way that you need to follow. If you don't follow the process, Whitney and the code compliance people are going to come by and take them. So don't do that. There's a process you can follow to get a permit, to put them in the right of way for 1 year. The permit is free for the neighborhood. So follow the process. It's written out for you on the back. If you have a small neighborhood and you don't need 10 signs, please give them back to us, because there are huge neighborhoods that could use 20 signs, so we're going to help them out. There's also stickers. Right here, right now. When we end this meeting early, after we do the neighborhood reports, we're going to leave, and Steve and Hugh will be over here to give you your signs and have you sign for them, and the stickers. That's who you tell if you don't need 10, and they'll break the packets apart right then, okay? If you want more than 10, if you want 50, it tells you how to get more right on this sheet, okay? So follow the direction on that and you'll be good to go. If you put it in the yard and not in the right of way, you do not need a permit to do that. But if the sign gets wanky and run over and trashed, please take it down, because we don't want to have some funky looking thing sitting out there. This is going to be signage that's throughout all the neighborhoods. I think it's a really great message to tell people, slow down, slow down. Next up, guess what? Our special presentation is Chief Troche, and he's not here. So either there's something really amazing going on, or Pat's going to do the presentation instead. Either one works for me. What do you guys think? Should we have Pat get started on a presentation he's never seen? Come on up, Pat. You can get started on the presentation.
Do you want to do
We could do neighborhood reports now and come back to Rex. What do you guys think? It's our meeting. We can do
Either
it
way.
you want.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we? I can tell you a couple things on old business real quick. The city manager's search. I don't know if you've seen it, but on this commission agenda is the city manager's search update and the new search firms data that they've put out in the world about what we're looking for. I read through it last night. It's really, really excellent. And they really did, I thought, a good job representing what we look for in the new city manager. So if you have time to read that, please take the time to read it. Or you can go to the commission meeting on Monday and listen live. Or you can watch it from home, the comfort of your own home. Bay water quality signs. They are ready to go. Our guest speaker for January, I think, is Aaliyah Garrett, our new sustainability manager, so she can tell you more about that. We're gonna run through neighborhood reports real quick while we wait for the chief, and I'm gonna call his assistant and find out where he is.
So he's about 25 minutes out.
Oh, okay, so we'll do neighborhood reports right now. Fabulous. Who's first? Gotta go with the flow, right?
I already had a report or not. You guys are- Just down, Barbara, do you have a report?
Melinda Del Page, Tahiti Park, and I have no report.
The chief might need to speed.
If you give me the clicker, I can kind of wing this.
We're gonna do neighborhood reports first, so
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not.
Don't start clicking yet.
I'll wait.
Okay, here we go. So I would like to thank Jody Geiger of Bayou Oaks for alerting us that the City Commission meeting on November 3rd and the County Commission meetings on November 18th and December 16th are going to be addressing the dredging and stormwater infrastructure. So those of us on the bayous, right, we have Hudson Bayou and we have Whitaker Bayou. They are going to be addressing the dredging at that time. So anybody that's interested, please come and attend. And as usual, Ron, we cannot thank you enough for what you've done with U.S. Recycling. It's a miracle. What you have managed in a few months, we haven't been able to do in years. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I did want to add one thing. We were one of the neighborhoods that applied for a grant, and we got it, and so we're going to have a neighborhood cleanup day in the spring. Thank you, Kelly, for all your help.
Hi, Chris Scolia, St. Armand's, and no hurricanes this year. Thanks. Thanks a lot. So listen, St. Armand's is looking good, and if you haven't been out in a while to the islands, today is the annual Ferrari show. And next weekend is a weekend-long art festival, and it's our big one, where they actually close down one of the streets as well. So the Circle's rocking. Tommy Bahama Restaurant has finally reopened. Really cool spot to check out. Kilwin's Ice Cream is reopened. While there still are some empty stores, it's now the exception and not the rule. And on the residential side, Chuck, who's been here filling in all summer, wanted me to say that 1 out of 4 of our homes are still either for sale, still abandoned, or have been knocked down, and we're waiting to see what happens. So that shows you the impact of these hurricanes. 1 out of 4 of our houses are still reeling. And what we learned from the hurricanes is that you cannot stop storm surge. But we have to become more resilient. We have to bounce back more quickly. So thank you to all the city folks who are here for approving the feasibility study about undergrounding our power lines. That means when we lose power, FPL doesn't need bucket trucks, right? Once the floodwaters recede, they can get there quick in a regular truck and fix things. And the city has also asked the county for millions of dollars to invest in our stormwater infrastructure. We don't know if the county will grant that, but we look to our county commissioner, Mark Smith, to talk to his colleagues and make sure they realize how important this is. And yes, Mark. I hear you. And soon the whole world will hear me. And then finally, every couple of years on St. Armand's, the developers make a concerted effort to build bigger, build denser, and it looks like that's going to come up again this season. And our city commission will have to decide if they're going to loosen regulations to let people make more money. Ding, ding. Thank you all.
Just real quick, Chris, just so everybody is aware, there is going to be an FDOT project that's going to be starting off between Bird Key Drive and Sarasota Harbor West. It's a $4 million project for the median over there, and we're also going to be moving 32, Jerry's not here, but I think it's 32 large palms from close to Golden Gate Point and Sunset over to the entryway to San Armin Circle. So that should be kicking off here actually on the 4th. So just something to keep in mind. Probably have some traffic issues in that little section there, but we'll keep you apprised as it moves forward.
How long will it take?
It's FDOT. I couldn't tell you. It doesn't have a timeline on here. Yeah, usually it looks like says doesn't give a timeline. So it's FDOT. So let's say a year.
I'll have it on the website yesterday.
Morning, everyone. Jody with Bayou Oaks. A couple different things. First off, a big thank you to Nancy Kelly and the City Commission for appointing our grants, approving our grants. That's really great. I also want to thank Nick Patel, Jerry Fogel regarding the roundabout at Old Bradenton Road and Myrtle. It was a horrible sight, and they're doing whatever they can to make it look more appeasing and function better. And most important, we're really excited that artist Ed Walsh will be starting the mural in North Water Tower Park called Harmony in Motion. It starts on November 6th through November 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So please come on out and take a peek. Thanks.
Hey, before you move on, just for those of you that don't know, that's Ed Walsh sitting right there.
Again, Mike Cassidy, Broadway Promenade. Nothing to report other than, I guess, happy 3rd birthday to our backyard park.
Yes.
Scott Ashby with Leader Key Residents Association. We had a dynamite monthly meeting on October 28th. We meet on the 3rd Saturday of every month till May or somewhere. And we heard several counts, but we had somewhat near 100 people there. It was on the undergrounding of the utilities. It was a very spirited conversation. I'd like to note that Kelly and Beth came from CCNA. We appreciate you being there. And I'd like to mention the mayor from Longboat Key, who really gave some great information, and who, if you have questions about this, get him to come to your meetings if you can. He's really knowledgeable, and of course supports that they did very well in the hurricane. And our next meeting is the 3rd Saturday, is November 15th, a couple weeks from now. And we're going to talk to beach renourishment. And you folks may say that we're outliers here, but this beach is a big part of your community. It draws people here, and we hope that you'll feel the importance of it. And just very briefly, we support the city and the county's efforts to control the water, industrial, what do you call them, mechanized water vehicles, and the activities at the South Lido Park, which of course is a county park right in the middle of the city, but really causes a lot of uproar. So,
very good reports hitting here today. Avondale Association is thanking the city for finally doing I guess you would call this a handicapped access on 2 of our corners that we've not had before, so thank you for that. And we have our neighborhood picnic on the 9th of November from 4 to 6. If you want to attend, come along.
Sherman Baldwin Park East, not a lot to report, other than I would like to thank Nancy Kelly for basically holding my hand through the grant process. I was a big pain in the butt for her, but I appreciate it. I've learned something from it. Also, I'd like to thank Kelly. Kelly drives up and down East Avenue in my neighborhood all the time, and she takes the initiative to reach out to the city about crosswalk safety, about debris left, and so I really appreciate it. She doesn't have to. She has her own neighborhood to deal with, and yet she drives up there enough that she takes the time to help me with that kind of stuff, and I wanted to really express my appreciation for that. Thank you.
Sure, do you mind if I pause right there, Mary? Excuse me.
I know you've, a couple of the neighborhoods have talked a little bit about move-in debris, where it sits outside. There's sort of a lag time between when our solid waste crews go out, they tag it, they have to leave it for a statutory amount of time, and then code compliance gets involved. I have been meeting with staff, primarily through Kelly's efforts, bringing that to our attention. To shorten the time period, there is a requirement that we tag and allow the property owner and or renter to come into compliance. However, that lag time between when we tag and when we can take it to code and or we just pick it up and backfill, we're working on that to reduce that time period because it is unsightly, it does blow around, we saw that a lot when we had some of the hurricane stuff. So hopefully we can come to a good plan with that, but staff's working on it right now, so just want to give you an update on that.
Appreciate that, and I'll be driving through my neighborhood because it's the first of the month, which is when generally we see a lot of this happen.
First
so
of the
I'll give you
month,
an updated.
Thank you.
Mary Butler in Merle's Park. I want to keep the kudos going to Kelly and just say thank you, Kelly, for looking into the stormwater issues of the county. You know, Kelly came into Newtown and she walked the streets and knocked on doors, you know, because residents had made, you know, some complaints, you know, and they never got any service. And this was a while ago, you know.
Over a year.
Thank you, Kelly. but it's so good to know that we got somebody like her that, you know, is willing to roll up the sleeves. And I also want to say thank you again. You know, there was an incident at Meredith Park and where the basketball goal had got removed. A neighbor was upset, made some threats. And the city just did what the city does. You know, they removed the goal, you know, until they investigated. And the community got involved, Kelly got involved, Barbara got involved, you know, we were all going back and forth. And, you know, we sent out a clear message to say we need to investigate this first, you know, but the safety of the children is what we looked at. But it got resolved the very next day, which was awesome. And then we came out and just celebrated all together at the park. So I'm just really proud, you know, to be a part of this community and the different neighborhoods and our chair, Kelly. So thank you so much. Before I hit the buzzer, Big Mama Collard Green Fest was a success. I saw a lot of faces there. Thank you for coming out and supporting. The next event is the Taste of Newtown, and it is celebrating the history of Newtown, as Newtown has been put on the Register of Historic Places. It's the largest in the state of Florida with over 700 structures, so we have a lot to celebrate. And last but not least, thank you, Kelly, for our grant. We're going to continue to make improvements in our community. Thank you.
Hey, Melissa, before you start, Mary, just so you know, when Steve and Beth and I met with the county stormwater people, we took photographs of everything that we had done walking through the neighborhood, and we asked 3 different times, we didn't let it go, in an hour and 20-minute meeting, when are you going to be out there to fix this? When are you going to be out there to fix this? So I checked the county's new website yesterday for the addresses specifically, and all of them went from no plan to will be finished by 12/29, just to let you know. Thank you.
Morning, Melissa Laughlin with Rosemary District. We are planning a dynamite community meeting as well. I love that word. We're going to be featuring Nick Patel, who's going to be talking about pedestrian crossing right here and some of the recommendations that the city made to FDOT to improve all of our safety coming over here to enjoy the events. Also talking about the complete streets and where we are on that, as Boulevard of the Arts will be undergoing complete streets. We will have Ron Cashton giving the update on the great work in terms of improving our air in the city and in the Rosemary District. And we'll be talking about the public art program and public art in the Rosemary District. So we've got a hot agenda. We're gonna have prizes. It's at Fogartyville on November 11th, Tuesday. And we would love everybody to be there. We make it a lot of fun, so would love everybody to come. November 11th, 5:30.
Good morning, I'm John Dieter Berkey. I don't have a report, but I would be interested in benchmarking with any of you or the treasurers in your HOA if you're I'm looking at doing that for insurance coverage, not cost, but policy limits and coverage. We experienced a pretty big increase in our umbrella policy this year, kind of revisiting aspects of our insurance. So if anyone is interested, please come and see me afterwards, and I'll get your information, and then we could kind of benchmark with what different associations are doing here. Thank you.
Hey, John, before you go, a good person for you to talk to would be David Lowe. He has a lot of information on that.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Martha Horton, Hudson Bayou Neighborhood Association. Last Sunday we had our annual picnic in the park and little fun out of the park, and it was very successful. And that's my own report.
Good morning, Ricky Lindsay, Bay Point Park Neighborhood Association. I want to join the chorus in thanking Nancy Kelly for everything that she does for our neighborhoods, and thank you for helping us get our grant through for, it'll be our neighborhood picnic, used for our spring picnic. We continue to work with the city. Again, Nancy is spearheading this on behalf of the city to try to make improvements to a city-owned lot in our neighborhood. It is not a city-owned park, it is a city-owned lot. And we're trying to get some improvements to that property made because it's central to our neighborhood. I have been out of town for 10 days, so I'm still catching up on emails, but I understand there's, thank you Pat Robinson, some movement on getting a signalized crosswalk at Gulfview Drive and Orange Avenue. Since our street light was taken down, there's no crosswalk between Mountain Street and Hillview on a very heavily trafficked road. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Kevin Smith, Sandy Beach Sapphire Shores. We have our semi-annual meeting Tuesday, November 11th at the Ringling Chow Center for Asian Art. The Ringling Museum has graciously allowed us the property to use, and so if you want to see a ritzy meeting, we're going to have it there, and we can check it out for the first time. They're a neighbor to us, so we're very grateful to them for doing that. Also, I want to thank City for the progress on an issue we've been working on for a while. About 4 years ago, FPL came into many neighborhoods and started putting in new light poles to harden the infrastructure. Well, they did that without taking out the old poles. So on some lots where there used to be 3 poles, there would have been 6. This is 4 years ago, and so I spent some time calling FPL and going through this and that, really getting no progress. Sent an email to the city. Comcast had a contract in with the city, so I thought, hey, let's put that in front of the city council, and action happened. They questioned the people right on the floor right there. Comcast came down and said, we'll start looking at that. Pat got involved, the city manager got involved, and lo and behold, their Comcast is moving the stuff immediately. It's happening. And so I want to thank the city for that, and just to let you know that our government is very reactive for us, and I want to thank them.
By the way, just really quickly before you move on, I wanted to recognize 2 people that came in after we had started. There hasn't been a good break time to do that, so I'm just doing it now. Because you were just saying good things about the commissioners, so now is a great time. I want to recognize our mayor and vice mayor, both here, Liz Albert and Debbie Trice. Ladies, raise your hand. Thank you for coming. We got 4 out of 5. I'll take that all day long. San Remo, you're up.
Gail Mason from San Remo. It's been very quiet.
Tom Diallo with Bay Island Siesta Key. We're going through quite a transition from last year in leadership. We just had our first social in quite a while because, as you know, Lito and Santa Juan's had mentioned, there's been a lot of teardowns and sales and things like that. It's pretty outstanding, the north part of Siesta Key and Bay Island, what it's going through, and it has been over the last year. So we have a lot of questions about trying to figure some things out between the city and the county because we're kind of stuck in between both of those with our parks and beaches. So without wasting any time, we'll do that separately. But thank you for everybody for your support and helping us get back to some kind of normalcy.
Hello, Rob Grant, Arlington Park. Let's see, we had our regular monthly meeting last week, and the developers from Midtown Plaza came and gave a presentation. The neighborhood's not very happy because they've moved an entrance for a parking garage onto East in the back of the neighborhood. They have put the dumpster back on East at the neighborhood. So the developer is going to have to go back to the DRC for a third submission. So we're hoping that they're going to take our meaningful input to heart and make some changes. We'll see about that. We'll let you know. And then I meant to bring this last month because of the traffic stuff that we've got going on. And the city has got their own sign program going on, which is great. But we did these signs. I thought that everyone should see with our grant, with Nancy Kelly's help on the last cycle. And we did about 40 of these signs, and we handed them out to folks in the neighborhood that wanted them. And then we also created the stickers that people that live in our neighborhood can put in their car, put on their cars or their bikes or whatever. And the idea is not just to slow down, but to try and generate this sense of community with our neighborhood. And if people who live in Arlington Park have an Arlington Park sticker on their car, you know that that's your neighbor. So there's also a little bit of a safety aspect to this, and just to try and build some community to this. Well, you know who your neighbors are or not, possibly, So just an idea, but I think what the city has done, they've taken this and run with it and made it available to everybody. I think that's a great thing, so thank you very much. And then it was mentioned the public art. Arlington Park is getting its first piece of public art at D3, right, is getting its first piece of public art. It's going to be at the swimming pools. If you're familiar with the pool there's a large pump house, and there's a small meeting room in there. And so what's going to happen is they're going to wrap that building in a mural, which is really cool. Yeah, and we've seen it improve. Everyone's very happy. The communities and support. And so as a part of this, what they've done is they're holding on November 15th. I don't know what day that is. A Saturday, a community paint day, and it's in conjunction with a kids wellness fair. And what they're going to do is they're going to stencil out a few simple parts of this mural and allow some kids to fill it in. No problem. So anyway, November 15th, 10 to 2, come paint.
Norm DeMay, Glen Oaks Estates. I'd like to thank the city, especially Nick Patel, and the transportation group in terms of what they've done in terms of calming speed in our community. They've created bike lanes and parking side of the street. And I've got to tell you, after watching this for about 6 months, it has changed behavior in terms of parking, in terms of safety for our residents. People are actually walking and riding their bikes in the bike lane. We have people parking in the areas that they're supposed to park. And by narrowing the street, it has slowed the speed in our neighborhood significantly. Behavior has changed. It's a great improvement. So I thank you, Nick, and the transportation staff for that. The big thing that we're having in our neighborhood is we're working on standard operating procedures for just about everything that we do. It's been very loose in the past. Now we're trying to codify that for the residents. And the next thing is we have our annual meeting on November the 12th, and our elections will take place at that meeting. Otherwise, all's well. Thank you.
Okay, first I want to say thank you to Nancy Kelly and the commission.
Gillespie Park.
Can you hear me?
Lynn Elvis, Gillespie
Oh, Lynn
Park.
Elvis, Gillespie Park, and I do that every time. I'm so sorry. I'm like trying to not be on fast forward. Okay, I'll begin again. Lynn Elvis, Gillespie Park. Thank you to Nancy Kelly and the commission for our grant. We look forward to having a spectacular spring event. Also, trunk or treat was a big success. So I will share that. And I just want to confirm the police report. I had an intruder last month, and it was actually in the wee hours of the morning of our last meeting for CCNA, so I didn't mention it because I was operating on 2 hours of sleep. But I thought it was an animal outside, and there was all kinds of ruckus and noise, and I kept thinking, as I peeked out the window and didn't see anything, I thought, oh, I'll call animal control in the morning. And when sunrise came and I peeked out the window, I saw a pair of tennis shoes. And I called the police. They came out around 7:15 a.m. and we walked around the property, and they left other things, clothing, but they had tripped over some things in my garden and went through 2 pieces of lattice that were in an L shape and knocked that down. So what I must have heard was that they hurt themselves, but they figured out how to leave. Anyway, fast forward, 2 weeks go by, and I see the people who are in the house across the street from me, they're tenants, and we're talking across the road, and I walk over because I could tell they were trying to say something to me. I told them what happened, and the husband said, oh, I got home from work around 12:30, and I saw this guy jump over your fence. And I have a 4-foot white picket fence that this person, who we don't know who they were, jumped over. And I said, well, what did they seem like? Were they on something and substance-wise? And he said, no, he jumped and landed well and went on a walk around the property. So I'm telling you this story to encourage you that if you do see anything suspicious, call 911. The neighbors thought it was a relative that was entering my property, but I will tell you right now, none of my relatives would jump over the fence. So that's part one, and if you think something is an animal, I recommend that you call also, because you just don't know, and don't take anything for granted. Thank you. It's your turn.
My name, Joyce Fitzpatrick, Plymouth Harbor. Not a whole lot to report, but life is very good right now in Plymouth Harbor. Things are back to normal. We have our exercise room going. We've got our consignment shop. It's not a consignment shop, I'm sorry, it's our fun shop. And that shop in the basement raises about $80,000 a year, of which money goes to support the staff. We have summer camps. We have grants for the kids to go to special training for schools. So we're very proud that is up and running again. We had a big Halloween party last night. It was great. DJ, dancing, cocktails, nice sit-down dinner. So I will report that things are back to normal finally. As far as outside, you might see that we're working on landscaping right now and asking about the new building. We won't be able to start construction, and city people can correct me on this, but I think until we have 75% commitment on the apartments in that building, that we can afford to start building, and I think it will probably be the end of 2027. Or into 2028. I know potential occupants there are being told, look at 2030 for move-in. So that's it, thank you.
David, before you go, just that little shop she's talking about, if you've never been there, I'm telling you, you can get some killer deals there. I bought the most beautiful maple dining table. It's worth like $5,000 for $200. So check it out if you're looking for something.
David Lowe with just one thing to bring everybody's attention is the special events ordinance is coming to the City Commission on the 17th of November. And I think this is important, not to just downtown, but everybody have a draft is available. If you want a preview of what kind of events are going on downtown, well, last night was a Halloween party by the Gator Club with the road closed. Now, if you missed that, go tonight, because it's another special event. That's the Day of the Dead. 2 events back to back, a street apart. And if you miss that, next Friday night is Fresh Fridays. So this is going to be recommending some changes because this is, dare I say, a little nuts. And there's a difference between vibrancy downtown and Key West. And we're kind of drifting Key Westish. So the time to make reasonable, moderate, middle-of-the-road changes to this special events ordinance is now, and DISCA is going to be advocating for that, and we would hope we have other neighborhoods supporting our position. Thank you.
Hi, Natalie Loughlin-Tanner from McClellan Park. I have two things that I would like to bring to the city's attention. And also, I would also like to shout out to Nancy Kelly for helping us with our grant. Gary Dickinson, our president, is very grateful for your assistance in getting it. The lights atop our stone pillars on both ends of McClellan Parkway are on during the late afternoon and then off at night. So they're not working correctly, and it's not always the case. It's off and on. And so we were requesting an on-site visit. We did put a clip to fix in, but if we could request maybe some kind of photo sensor so they operate properly. And also at the Osprey entrance to Linear Park, we did have a large tree removed at the entrance there after the hurricane, and right now it's just empty, and we're requesting if there's any plan to replace any of the plants that were removed. And obviously we would love to get involved with that, but I'll follow up with Nancy Kelly on that. We had our last board meeting actually just a couple days ago, and we're a small neighborhood, and now we're getting back as season starts to get some engagement from the neighbors and have some more community involvement. And we're excited about the wreaths that are going to be going up and cleaning up stone pillars that everybody who passes our neighborhood daily can enjoy. And we have caroling coming up in the Christmas. And last year we had put signs up for our caroling, and some random people showed up and caroled along with us. So if you'd like to join, it's really fun, very small. The kids love it, and we hope it's a new tradition in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Good morning, Suzanne Waxman, Tolles Court Artist Community. I'd like to first of all thank Nancy Kelly for everything that she does for our community. We recently had our artist open house. It was very successful. Thank you everyone who came. I would like to point out something on Links Avenue and Morale Street. There's a lot of construction going on to residential properties, and their contractors are parking on both sides of the road, which would make it impossible for a fire truck or an ambulance to get through that area if it needed to be. I notice that when I get up in the morning and go to work, which is about 5 o'clock, that they're there already, and I have talked to them a little bit, but I don't want to, make any enemies. But at any rate, it is kind of a dangerous situation, and it's been going on now for about 2 weeks, but thank you.
You can call parking enforcement for those trucks that are parked incorrectly, Suzanne?
Pardon me?
You can call parking enforcement for the trucks that are parked incorrectly.
Okay.
Instead of
Parking
co-compliance.
enforcement.
Don't listen to them over there. It's the people. Call parking enforcement. I'll give you the number there.
Parking enforcement. I will call.
Sure.
Ron Cashley, Laurel Park. Thank you, Nancy and the city, for our neighborhood grant. We really appreciate it. There's a long-standing issue that once again we have an opportunity to correct. And there was never the intent to have permanent rental signs in front of residential homes. However, that's a known loophole in the zoning text. And staff has marked this as something to correct. Now in December, there's a number of zoning corrections that are going to go through to the commission. And Laurel Park asks that this one item that tends to linger year after year, if they can look at that and finally address it. Thank you.
They're talking about vacation rental signs.
Yes.
that stay up all year round?
They're, right.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, Ron, in our meeting, Jim brought that to our attention, so I think the staff to start looking at it, because there's actually a conflict between two separate codes.
Right.
So we want to make sure we clear that up. So we'll be working on it.
Thank you.
Liz, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I can't hear Kelly at all.
Oh, I intentionally said that quietly a minute ago because it was not something you guys would really want to hear.
I don't think she heard that either, though.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? I hate this room. I know you all do too. Hopefully we'll be out of it sooner than later.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me now? Should I shout louder?
Louder.
Okay. That's really loud. Okay, sorry. Anybody on the, Melinda, did you already go? You already went. Pat, is there anything you want to add or update? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I've got a good list to follow up with staff. I would like to let you guys know that Nick, I don't know if you heard or saw in the paper, but Nick was actually promoted. So he's now the Public Works Director. If you guys remember, Doug Jeffcoat retired after about 31 years, maybe 2 years in indentured servitude at the very end. But Nick has been promoted because of the attributes he brings, his skill set, his engagement. He's going to do a great job for us for many years, hopefully. And we did steal Saji, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, but Saji, we stole him from Holmes Beach, and he's a fantastic addition to our team, so he'll be the new Nick. I hope to bring him down, Kelly, at some point, maybe after the first of the year, to do an intro, kind of give his background, which is very extensive, very impressive. We're putting together a great public works team. Not that we didn't have one before, but some fresh blood, a new way to look at things. Very exciting. And thank you guys for continuing to engage with our staff and allowing us to work through some of these issues. Talking about the polls, the poll removal, we had a great meeting with 3 high-level executives from FP&L. Very surprising how long that takes to take care of because you're dealing with a public entity and private communication providers. So there's a lot that goes into that. Believe it or not, the average time from the time that it's reported to the time a telecommunication company removes a wire is roughly a year. So, and that's generally throughout the entire process what we were told to expect, about a year from the time that it's reported to the time it's taken care of. So some interesting things going on, lots of good things, some code correction, code cleanup stuff, some operational issues, lots of different parties. Everybody should be watching their waistline. And I did just want to point out, David Lowe has been at all of those parties. I'm just saying. That would not protest too much. I've seen the pictures on Facebook. But again, thank you guys. We can't always say yes, but we always try to find a middle ground and get to somewhere that's functional for everybody. So thank you for your patience, thank you for your commitment, and we look forward to working with you in the next year. Because we only have the Christmas party left, so I won't have to make a list on the next one.
Yeah, we won't have neighborhood reports.
Yeah, I'm just going to come eat your food.
Absolutely.
But I do want to introduce my good friend and partner, Rex Troche, and they're playing you in, bud. You hear the bass? There you go. So Rex told me that he was having a little bit of car trouble, and I said, "Yo, what was the deal with the truck?" And he said, "My daughter parked me in," which we've all been there. So without further ado, Kelly, not to steal your thunder, but Rex Troche, take it away, bud.
Rex,
Thank you. Good
welcome.
morning.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming. And we're going to step over here so we can see your presentation.
So real quick, just to expound on what happened this morning. We have a golden rule in my house. No one parks behind my truck, right? Because I may have to get out. Well, my daughter came home late last night, Halloween party, whatnot, and she's like, "Oh, it's the weekend. I can park behind Dad's truck." No, you can't. So then we couldn't find her keys, and as I'm about to get one of our devices out of my police car, I can pop her window and smash it so I can put it in neutral, because as cops, we hate to be on time, because if you're on time, you're late. So now my adrenaline's going, I'm getting ready to pop it. She's like, "Dad, don't smash it. I have new keys." So thankfully, and then coming here, I hear speed camera ahead. Speed camera. Like, this city's got a lot of speed cameras. It's great. red light camera. But as I'm driving here, everybody's driving like Miss Daisy, and it's pretty awesome to see that everybody really is following the law, especially around those school zones, even on a Saturday. So can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we're super excited. I love talking about these topics. I'm very into technology, as Pat knows, because he sees the bills that come in every year.
Very expensive.
Technology is expensive, but it gives us the ability to be in a lot of places that we wouldn't normally be. So first, we're going to kick it off. Today's the big mobile command center debut for a lot of you. So as you can see here, this was our original mobile command center back in 1902 that we received. You don't see the horses, but there's 2 horses here. That at one time was a lawn maintenance trailer, right? We received it, we polished it up for years and years and years, to the point where we had to treat it for termites every 6 months, because we are really making this thing last, right?
That wasn't a joke.
No, that's serious. Like, we really did. So, and we have monitors in here. We do some really high-tech things in here, but it was just very limited on what we could do. And this isn't really impressive when you pull up at a fair or critical incident or an active shooter situation. This was not good. We had to put air in tires all the time. So the American Rescue Act came along. I was asked, hey, what's something that you think forward-looking that we could use X amount of money for? And I said, oh, mobile command center. So here we are, the new mobile command center. What it basically is a police station on wheels. It gives us the opportunity to go to areas. We have, inside we have an area for all the commanders. We have access to all the cameras. We have a boom camera, as you can see right here, that goes up 3 stories. But what it really does, it helps us hear and see what the officers are going through in real time. For instance, a few months ago, we had a jumper on the Ringling Bridge. I don't know if anybody of you are aware of that. But people may say, well, it's not the Skyway Bridge, it's the Ringling Bridge. Well, this person had tied a chain link, like bike chain around his neck and attached it to the side of the bridge so that if he did jump, he would snap his neck. So our officers made contact with him. We were out there for 8 hours trying to talk him off the bridge. So they finally called me at 5 in the morning because rush hour is about to start. It's a regular workday. I come out, I go to the mobile command center, and now I'm watching the 4 officers have a relationship with this person in real time. So now I have a better understanding of where this person's mindset is. Are they getting tired? Are they coming down? Based on that, we made the decision that we were going to do an intro of a new sergeant who came up, and we were hoping that the guy would shake his hand out of respect if the sergeant put his hand out. Because we figured he was that type of person. Was it disrespectful, super respectful? Thank God he did. He shook the sergeant's hand, we immediately grabbed him, pulled him over the railing, and then he gave us the code for the chain link because he didn't want to die. Because it was starting to choke him out as we had him back on the other side. So it really tells you a lot of people mental awareness as far as, do people really want to die? They just want help. And I tell you that story because we couldn't have made those decisions if we weren't seeing that from here. So pretty incredible. Okay, so now into a lot of our technology. So what we now have is a real-time operations center, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is an ecosystem that has developed in the past 9 months. All these things that you see here were in somebody's computer on the 4th floor, somebody's computer on the 3rd floor, somebody's computer on the 1st floor. These are programs that they were using, but nothing was ever tied in. They were all in silos. So nothing was speaking to each other. So by creating this real-time operations center, we now have de-siloed all of these things. We have them in one center, and we have 4 crime analysts that are working together side by side, utilizing things like our flock cameras to find bad guys, probation and patrol. Now that we can put a monitor on somebody, if they leave their house, we get an automatic alert. Now we start looking for them before they commit more crimes. So these are things that we're starting to utilize. Our license plate readers, our red light cameras, mobile command center can tie into here. Our speed school cameras, they're in there certifying. When Pat violates the speed camera law, they're certifying it. But we also use these cameras to find bad guys. So it's amazing. You come in our city, we know who you are. So this is what the Real-Time Operations Center looks like. The goal was to make it look like something out of a Jason Bourne movie or 10 levels under a mountain in Colorado that the military has. And this is really an accurate picture of it. They have all their monitors here. They have the big boards here that they can throw things up that are going in real time so that everybody can see it and make good decisions. Our mission, obviously, we're here to improve public safety, prevent, deter, reduce crime in Sarasota, and support prosecutions and higher conviction rates. When we're able to pull all these things together, we're able to solve crimes faster. We're also able to put people away. One of the things that came out of this was detectives really started using these crime analysts. And when they're looking for people, we have the ability in here to use open sources for facial recognition. So now, if someone says, I was never there, well, yeah, we're finding people in England in a soccer game that when they were taken in a mass photo, never knew that photo was taken, but we're able to find that open search on the internet with these crime analysts. Game changer for us. So, their jobs are to monitor high priority calls for service, domestic burglary, something of that nature, track and fleeing suspects using our LPRs, traffic and community cameras. I see on our daily report almost every day where we got a hit on one of our license plate readers or cameras because the cameras have artificial intelligence. We got a hit on a suspected person of an aggravated battery. We found where their car was, we pulled up, we arrested them. They have no idea that we knew they were in our city. But this is the technology that we have now. Support critical incidents, special events, and disaster response. So recently, we had 2 events going on. We had a protest going on at Payne Park, and then we had the Charlie Kirk event at Robarts. I was able to utilize our technology through cameras to put portable ones in different locations. We then tapped into all the cameras of Robarts, which is over 60, and we worked this out of the Real-Time Operations Center. So we were able to be in more places at once with less personnel. Because they have 2 events like that, we're using about 75 officers, and we're going back and forth. But between our drones and our other camera systems, we're able to ensure that everyone's safe. All right, flock safety. These are our license plate readers. Again, you come into our city, it's being logged in there. If something happens, if we have a flag or alerted, we're gonna know you're there. And then the officers in their cars get an automatic alert to that ping, and they're able to go to those locations and then make those arrests. School zone speed camera safety. So we got a lot of pushback about the speed camera implementation in the beginning. Speeds have reduced by 80%. Speeding has reduced in school zones by 80%. What an amazing number, right? It's an amazing number. We couldn't ask for more. But what people don't realize is that lets me leverage the traffic unit. Because now I don't have to have them on all these school zones. Now I can put them in those smaller areas, those neighborhoods on the side. And with this comes data. So if we see that we're having an issue at one of these schools, then we'll put the traffic unit there. Because right now, if you get a citation under this program, it's a $100 civil violation with no points. We put the traffic unit there, it could be a $300 civil violation with points. So it's a little bit more teeth as we start to look through the data, and it's worked out very well. Okay, so this is one of our bigger cases I just want to tell you about. On 8:30 in the area of the 700 block of North Washington, a family was trying to go across 301. Unfortunately, there was a vehicle coming, and the 2 children were struck, died right there. The mother was struck as well. She subsequently died of her injuries. When we went out there to the scene, we didn't have much at all. In fact, this is really all that we had. We had a white car. There's a little piece of material that came off the car. We were able to determine by that piece of material that this car was a Lexus between the years of 2013 and 2018. We had no witnesses, no other intel. So what the Real-Time Operations Center was able to do is they were able to get into this video, look at it, and they said, okay, let's create a plan here. So they said, how many vehicles, Lexus, between these years were in this area that are registered in the county? So they got all the and they dumped it into the system, and they put a fence, a geo-fence, around the area of where this incident occurred. Once they did that, they were able to determine, they went from 500 to 50 cars. So 50 of these vehicles passed through this geo-fence. So now, we went old school. Now we gave 10 to this detective, 10 to this detective, let's go, boots on the ground. And within an hour, we were walking up the driveway, still gives me goosebumps. We were walking up the driveway of this vehicle, and it was in the garage, smashed up. And so we knew we had our car. Back in the day, I don't know if we ever would have solved that, Pat. I don't, because we had no witnesses. We just had a white blur. So unless somebody would have come forward, maybe a neighbor, or maybe the person themselves, we probably never would have solved this. Real-time 911. So this is something that I know of in this area. We're the only agency that's doing this. So does everybody in here know that when you call 911, you're not calling the Sarasota Police Department, you're calling the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. And I just want to say that so when you get mad that they're not answering fast enough, don't email me. I get it all the time. So then I'm like, oh, it's the Sheriff's Office. So when a call comes in there now, it goes to the call taker. The call taker, anybody here that's called 911, they ask you so many questions, and it gets you frustrated, right? And it's time. It's time. It's time. And then, once they get that information, they send it over to what we call frequency 1, which is a dispatcher that will dispatch it out, or they'll send it via your computer. Well, when that happens, you're in a queue. So not only have you been on the phone 5 to 10 minutes, right? Now you're in a queue waiting for it finally to get dispatched, for then an officer to then get there, which takes 3 to 5 minutes. So you're looking at maybe 15 minutes in some cases for a response. With real-time 911, as soon as that call comes into the dispatch center, it immediately comes into the real-time operations center. They're listening to that call in real time if it's within the city of Sarasota. So because of that, they're able to start making decisions, get cameras up, run data, see where this person likes to go. Is this person known to be armed? Are they dangerous? Etc. They're getting all this table set for the officers. So once it's dispatched, the officers know exactly what they're going to. The analysts have already really got it all the way down to the details that they need. They've cut through the fluff. And so an officer actually knows when they get there what's going on in real time. Ergo, real-time operations center. So this is going to be a game changer for us. We're just about to get this out. The second phase of this, the officers are going to get that on their cell phone in real time. So when they're driving around, they're going to hear that call come in, and they're going to decide, ooh, this sounds spicy. I need to start heading that way. And so that will help as well. Another game changer, drone first responder. So, hey Tom. So imagine a day now where your neighbor's dog is barking. We'll start simple. You call the police department. This guy might be coming to your door. Arriving, sent. Ma'am, sir, is the dog still barking? No, they put it in, everything's okay. Okay, anything else we can do for you today? No, we're good. All right, have a blessed day. Back into the sky. You can't get a pizza with it. We're not bringing pizza. But that's phase 3. That's phase 3. So we have done the data. We can get anywhere in the city with this within 3 minutes. So as soon as a call is coming for service, we determine, yes, this is a legit call. There's just a send button, and it will go to that call immediately. And for us, that's Overwatch. Because now all that video that it's gathering is being beamed to the officer's computer so that they can see what's going on. And it's being beamed to the real-time operations center where there's a pilot. Then the pilot's telling them, hey, we see the bad guy in the backyard. Oh, we see his body temperature because they do have FLIR. So we see the body temperature, he's hiding here. Hey, officers, let's surround. Okay, we're gonna send the drone in and we're gonna see if we can talk this person out. So they drop the drone into the wooded area. They have a conversation. They tell them, hey, you just need to come out for your own safety. They come out and then officers can put that person in custody. Gives the officers more time and distance. Gives us the ability to make better decisions. This is gonna be a lifesaver and a life changer for all of us. And this is really where law enforcement's going. In the next 5-10 years, you're going to see more and more. Okay, Here's a video of everything I've just explained, packaged in about 2.5 minutes. I love videos. Here we go. Let's see. If I just hit the next go button, does it play?
I don't know if the video worked. I didn't realize that was a video.
Okay, well that's it. So, that will act out the video. So
we need somebody to call them.
yeah. Do we have a victim? No. So this is what happens in this video, and this is a real agency in Georgia. So a couple checks into a hotel. They pull in. As they're pulling into the hotel, a bad guy walks out and takes the couple's car. So the couple immediately calls 911, but via real-time 911, we're able to start getting on it because we hear it come in. We're then immediately able to tap into the cameras of that hotel because that is part of our program. They're then able to say, hey, it's a sports car with a black racing stripe. They simply punch that in to our artificial intelligence. It starts scanning the area for a sports car with a black racing stripe. Boom, found it. Then they're able to get the tag. Boom, we got the tag and now we're tracking it. They set the drone up, the drone's following it, all the officers are following it based on the coordinates of the license plate readers where it keeps hitting, and now the drone has eyes on. They follow the vehicle to a dead end of a parking lot. The drone comes down, officers surround it, take him out at gunpoint, put him in custody. In the past, that car would have been gone. We probably wouldn't have got that call for 20 minutes. We probably wouldn't have been able to access the video for 2 days because everybody has a different type of system and no one knows how to download it. But that's the speed at which things are happening. So when you start putting all this together, what we start seeing is this. So in 2023, we're able to drop our crime down 16.2%. Some of this is technology, and some of this is really doing a lot of community work. And really, at the end of the day, if anybody ever asks, hey, what's the one element of secret sauce, or is it one element? You know, the elements are multiple. It's everyone in this room, right? Seeing something, saying something. I see someone in my yard, hey, it's not a family member jumping my fence, I can assure you. You need to call the police. See something, say something. So in here, that's an element. It's hiring the best officers out there and fighting with other agencies to get them, and then retaining them. And then it's sending them to the schools that they need to go through for the training. And then it's getting them to buy into the community and the Sarasota Police Department brand. And if anybody knows about branding, we take it very serious. Because we know once you are part of our brand at the Sarasota Police Department, you're Sarasota Police for life. And you're gonna come out here and you're gonna give everything 100% of the time. And that's what we want in our agency for our community. So not only did we have a 16.2%, so I said to the team, hey, let's make sure we repeat this. Like, we won the Super Bowl, because most executives, most chiefs would want just a 3% drop they'd be happy with. That's a 16.2% drop. So we started looking at all our programs, and we said, okay, what are we doing? Because what I want to do is cookie cut this. We want to make it specific, measurable, attainable, repeatable, and timely. I don't want to be lucky. I want to win the Super Bowl again. I want another double-digit decrease in crime. So after we put it all together, we got a 21.8% decrease in crime the second year. This was the largest drop we'd ever gotten in the documented history of our agency. Now we just knocked that number out of the park with 21.8%. So we're continuing to do the things that we need to do to ensure the community is safe. So now this year I'm like, ooh, are we gonna have maybe it'll be a flat line? Well, right now we're trending for a 17% decrease. So you're looking at almost a 59% decrease in violent crime in the past 3 years. So we're everyone in this room doing something right, and we're doing it together. But wait, there's more. So one of the things that we're looking at is a Boston Dynamics dog. And I play the video, but it probably doesn't work. The video is super cute. You know, it does all kinds of things. So this is the same dog, just in a fluffy dog suit that we can use for community relations, in that suit. And then this is, remember Cujo? So this is the Cujo version, right? Just without the suit. So people are like, what can that dog do, right? So the dog can do a lot. The dog can go upstairs. The dog can open doors. The dog has 16 cameras on it The dog can talk. We can talk through the dog to the person that's either in crisis or the bad guy. The dog has the ability to sense out chemical, biological, radiation, and nuclear. Why is that important? We like to have big parties here in the city of Sarasota, don't we? Right? Wouldn't it be great?
David Lowe doesn't.
David, we're trying to bring it down. We can walk this dog through a crowd and determine if there's any bad actors releasing any of those chemicals. That's amazing. We can take this dog into a facility like a hospital, and Pat knows we have major issues with communications in a hospital. Our radios, they go nuts. This dog, as it's going through the hospital towards the bad actor, has repeaters on it, and it will drop repeaters every few feet in order to make sure communications are kept. And it has drones on it, so that as it's going, the drones are released ahead so we can even see ahead of the dog. And all that communication is coming back to the real-time operations center or the mobile command center or both. That's what kind of game changer. If we have a barricaded subject where we need to call SWAT, this dog's going in first. If they shoot the dog, I'm okay with that. This dog, not, you get it, like the robot. But if they shoot this dog, they won't even tell us what the material this dog is made of. This was all designed by Boston Dynamics for the military, and now it's being finally released to law enforcement. So this is a major game changer in how we do business as we move forward. But we tell you all this because we want you to know crime is down significantly. And we want you to know that we're utilizing technology as we move forward, and we're being very prudent in how we spend our money. And I love when philanthropists just write a check. And they're like, what do you need? What do you need it for? How much do you need? It's been great, and we've been very blessed with that. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Hold on one second. So, real quick, Skynet is here. For those of you that are old enough.
The Terminator.
Yeah, the Terminator, Skynet. None of this would really happen, and I mean, I've been around here for a long time. Rex and I have been here for over 22 years, respectively. What I think goes without saying, or we don't often talk about publicly, is that none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the community support, and even more so the commissioner support. Not just this commission, but historically multiple commissions previously have felt it important to invest in the police department to ensure that we had staffing, that we had technology, that we had all the things that really make this agency very special. And you guys are going to get to see some of that out there, but really it comes down to these things do cost money, and we have to make determinations on what to spend it on, and they have always made it a priority. For the 25 years I've been here, every commission has supported public safety in our city. So thank you to our commissioners, to our mayor, because it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them putting their money where their mouth is. And this is what's happening. I always tell Rex, when we cross the 100% reduction, does that mean people are just giving people stuff back? Like you park your car, so you're like, you lock your doors? I don't know. We're gonna get there though, probably in the next couple of years. So I've been watching. So I'm gonna stick around till we
Work myself right out of it.
That's right. There'll be a robot that'll figure it out. So thank you guys, and really, Rex can't understate this enough or overstate this enough, pardon me. It really does come down to we have a great community that we built great relationships with, and it starts here. So, you guys go out into your neighborhoods and tell them what you've seen and engage and ensure that the folks in the neighborhoods are willing to engage with us, and that's really important, not just for the police department, but for all the public works, for our utility crews. If it wasn't for having a great relationship with our community, you wouldn't see these things happening. So thank you guys.
And just to add, and I'll be quick, I know you want to ask questions. So one thing I think is really incredible, and I've seen it through the entire time that I've been at this agency, 22, 23 years, is we have elected officials that have a D or an R before their name, but really that letter, when it comes to law enforcement, it's just about doing the right thing. And we sincerely do appreciate that everybody, the D and the R, come together and we make the right decisions for the community, and we assist the police department, because at the end of the day, we're nothing without your support. We have to have your support. And you have the best and the brightest here working every day, willing to give up their life first for total strangers. And I think that's pretty special. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Chief.
I have a question. As an equestrian, I would like to see a horse there for a mounted patrol control, because for crowd safety and rioting, that could be something that could be helpful.
Yeah, that is, we're looking at a robot horse right now, actually. No, we're not looking at a robot horse. So we've looked into horses, and there is a major expense to the horses and the training and the feeding and the doctor care, especially for robot horses. It takes a lot. So we're trying to be as efficient as we can, and we do partner with the sheriff's office. So when we do have major events like the New Year's Eve event, they do bring the horses out. So that's really a great collaboration without us having really to take on that cost. So that's kind of thinking outside of the box. And I can tell you, someone who's been at a few shootings, when the horses are coming, that's a good feeling when those horses are coming. So you're right, they do play a major role, but we do partner with the sheriff's office.
Jody Geiger, Bayou Oaks. I'm curious, what is the size of that little dog? Because I would think it would be a tripping hazard.
Yeah, so I would say the size of the head, because it has an articulating arm, the head actually comes up to here. The body's probably about here. And so one of the things I asked the vendor when they came and showed it, I go, how old is this demo? Right? Because I don't want to do like a cell phone. I don't want every year I got to upgrade. And that's not how it's done. The demo dog that they have that's been all around the world that was here with us is 11 years old. So they're constantly sending out updates, but there's no additional cost because we all know the game, right? Here's this cost, but then in perpetuity, you have to pay this. So there's real no cost as far as that goes, but the dog's pretty big.
Who's on your side, your next? Anybody we're working our way down, I promise.
Hey Chief, Rob Grant, Arlington Park. The operations center, so how is it, I'm interested in like the staffing, like staffing levels. Is it 24 hours a day? Are they civilian or deputized? That kind of thing.
Good question. So when Marlon Brown said, hey, is there a new program you want to implement? And I said, yeah, the real-time operations center. And so he said, okay, let's do it. So I had X amount. So what we did was, I wanted to crawl before we ran to prove that this is legit, that this is really the way of the future. So right now we have 4 crime analysts, 2 of which we stole from other police departments up north that ran real-time operations centers. So that really expedited, like who doesn't want to move to Florida if you live in Indiana? I'm sorry, right? Who doesn't want to do that? So, and it was their bosses. So we took the bosses and we brought them in, and then we hired within for 2 spots. And so there are 4 civilians working together as a team under one of our officers that's been there 30 years. But you know that 30-year guy that is never going to retire, that just is a genius? That's him. So he is overseeing this. He's been in this technology area, in this space, probably for about the last 10, 15 years. So he's overseeing it. And he, even though he's now retired, he's kept his certification. So that gives us the officer rule. So now if he sees something via video, he can transfer verbally his probable cause to an officer on scene and we can make an arrest. So right now, currently no one, sworn, but we do have certified. Thank you.
Hi, Mike Hassett, Broadway Promenade. Philosophical question. I spent 30 years in technology, so I love tech. But even I understand it can go too far, and so you get into this big brother, everybody's watching you. So how do you think about privacy rights, and how does that inform the guidelines you use on how you deploy technology?
I love that you just asked that question. So one of the things, this usually gets asked maybe once in a meeting, but one of the things I always find is interesting is how many in here have a cell phone? Raise your hand if you have a cell phone. Okay, that thing's listening to you all the time. And you're signing off on things when you download applications that you don't read because it's like 80 pages. You're like, I agree. It's terrible. But in that world, I feel like there's no rules, right? That's the Wild West. In our world, we have to abide by state law, federal law, local, our policies and procedures. We're always being overseen. And to Pat's comment earlier, we're here. Technology's everywhere. When you have cameras on school buses, that if you pass a school bus, you're getting a ticket, you know the game has changed. Every business has a camera. Almost every home now has a Ringer camera or some type of camera like that. So we're definitely here. We do have some rails that we're within in the law It's the commercial area that scares me more because I know they're selling my information. You know, I'm gonna tennis lessons. Okay, you're welcome. Now you're gonna have like 20 videos on tennis lessons in your YouTube because it is listening. We're not listening to people, and we've been in the business of information since the beginning of time, right? We write reports, we come to your house, we grab your name, we grab your telephone number, your social security number. We've been in that business and we know how to protect it. So that's what we're doing. We do have some guardrails.
Hey Rex, you didn't talk about the program whereby if you have Ring camera at home or Nest camera or whatever, you can link to the police department if something happened.
Correct.
Can you talk about that real quick?
If you go to our website, it's called SRQ View. You can click on there and you can sign up to be on our list of people that are willing to let us reach out to you if we have a crime in your area and access your camera. We're not just accessing it without your permission. You're just saying, hey, I have a camera. I love law enforcement. Should you have an incident occur in this area, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll assist you with my video. And that really expedites our system that much faster. I think down the road, I think we'll start getting into where, hey, we just call you and you're like, yep, you're good to go, and we access it remotely. But right now, we're still in the nascent stages, and we're trying to be very careful as we tread in this area because we know law enforcement that anything you abuse, it's going to be taken away. And we don't want this tool to be taken away because at the end of the day, if it's ever taken away, the only people that really benefit from this are the bad actors, not the good people. Because I'm not following anybody in here as they go to Publix and shop for BOGOs. I don't care. But if you steal from Publix, now we're in it, right? So if you're a good actor, we're good. If you're a bad actor, you want this taken away.
Other questions?
Yeah,
Anyone?
we're good. Where are we? Where are we?
Yeah, my question was more or less the same. I'm concerned about invasion of privacy. I know AI makes mistakes, it hallucinates, and you know, you might get caught up in that, and in your situation, you're confiscating people, not just a mistake on the cell phone. So, have you recognized those lines, and are you working to be sure that the right people are being tracked? And, you know, AI, as I said, does make a lot of mistakes.
It does, and we know that. And when I ChatGPT things and I ask for a recipe and it tells me how to paint my house, I'm like, okay, obviously AI, you're off the rails here. So what we've done is, when we were putting in policies as we go along here, is we're putting checks and balances, right? Hey, AI says this, okay, has this been verified? Okay, we verified it, now I want a double verification. And so we've been in verification businesses and checks and balances for a long time, so now we're implementing those procedures as we deal with AI, because you're right, AI does make mistakes 100%.
But Rex, just to expand on that just a little bit, when he says verification, it's verification by a human being. Right. It's not just we run it through ChatGPT and then whatever the Google one is.
What is it?
I don't know. But it has to be seen by any type of investigation or a charging incident has to be verified by a human being who has to swear to it.
So I'll give you another example on that, right? So recently we had someone that was robbed at gunpoint, a gentleman on a bike. Okay, no other witness, didn't even know this person. So we go through our camera system, we see that same, who we believe is a gentleman on the bike in that area. We take a snapshot of that person, we then dump it into AI. Within 30 seconds, AI has that person identified. We then create a lineup with 6 pictures of people that look similar. We then show it to the victim and they pick out the person that was on the bike. So in the past, we never would have been able to identify that person unless, again, someone comes forward, but people are scared to come forward. So, and all of that was double verified, to the DCM's point, by humans. We're not just relying on AI, but AI, there is a place for it as a tool within our industry for sure.
Sherman Baldwin Park East. I'm founder of an AI tech company, and we deal with these issues all the time, but I would like to say it gets a lot of bad press, AI, and for due cause. But AI is not a static technology. It is getting smarter every day. Every day the algorithms increase to a point where actually we as users of AI get more control because we get more abilities to discern. So certain situations, and I am concerned about privacy and Fourth Amendment rights as it applies to law enforcement, but it's only going to get better, believe it or not. And again, I know AI sometimes gets a bad rep, Skynet, as Pat mentioned, but it's getting better and better, and it's going to become more of an effective tool without butting up against these issues. Just watch it happen. It's happening as we speak. Thanks.
And I think, Sherman, to that end, you know, this is an evolving technology, as you know. And what happens is it evolves through court cases, appellate cases, and through governance, right? So as we are moving through this, and I can tell you Rex and our team is at the cutting edge of all of these things, there are court cases that are predicating how far it can go, what the stipulations are, and I assure you that with our city attorney, our state attorney, and our legal advisors of the PD, we are well within the guidelines of appreciable law on those things. But I think as you move forward, there will be more safeguards put on it, because as it gets smarter, we have to get smarter to make sure that we're not being compromised. So, you know, we have a great legal team here, and they keep the chief and the command staff up to speed on what needs to be changed. And we have a policy person at the PD that can change a policy within hours and make sure it's put out and trained almost immediately. Correct.
Kevin Spencini, Beach Sapphire Shores. For those that are interested in more details on what they're all talking about, the city has a great program called the Citizens Police Academy, and I highly recommend it. It's 6 weeks, and you can drill down on any of these issues. I've been there, and it's fantastic. Chief, my question is about the drones. A number of our neighborhoods, including ours, is near the airport. What's the restriction on how close you can get to that? Maybe Beach Sapphire Shores is not exactly in the pathway, but nearby.
No, it's a great question. And most recently, the airport has become more restricted. There was a crash recently where the FAA has now brought the ceiling down to like 50 feet where we can fly only that high. And recently we had
It was a crash not involving any of our...
No, not nationwide. Somewhere in the nation there was a crash involving a drone and an airplane wasn't fatal. But now the FAA has really tapped down on that. But having said that, we're currently talking to a company that if we go this route one day, that they install radar throughout the city. And so the drones won't have any issues with any of the planes near the airport. And we know this is a good company because they're the company that LAPD uses, which is right next to one of the busiest airports in the world. So they've got that on lockdown. So we're currently talking to them because we think that's important as we move forward for safety for everybody.
Hey Chief, I have one question it's really for District 1. I love the speed cameras at the schools, and what they've done to reduce speeding is amazing. And I know that the current state law says that it can only be in school zones. Would the city consider testing and only sending out warning letters? We have 6 parks that are right on connector roads as people are leaving the city to end their day. Orange Avenue, Central Avenue, Coconut Avenue, 10th Street, and Myrtle, where cars are just flying to get out of town. Is there any way we could test putting some of those speed cameras at those 6 parks?
Yeah, so Miami does something similar to that, where they do it with noise, and they send out like, hey, a letter, don't do this anymore. And usually the person that's going to is really not the driver, it's usually their kid, and it has no teeth. And it's an expense that Miami has picked up because there's no way to recoup the expense for that. So if we did something like that, we would have to get with a vendor and then pay that vendor for those speed cameras. And those speed cameras, you could be at $5,000 a month for one speed camera.
Would the city consider like a 30-day test just to understand what the speeding is on those specific roads where those parks are?
That's above my pay grade on that with the city.
Pat, that's a luncheon conversation then.
And the other thing
you're gonna have to have a heck of a bake sale there, Kevin.
Yes. I think the other thing that we need to be careful of is this, and it's what I said earlier. We have to really respect the technology that we're being allowed to use. When I said earlier, I don't want it to be taken away from us. And I don't want, my concerns on that would be, okay, now we're going outside of the law of where they wanted these speed cameras to be at, and now we're putting our toe over here. And I don't want us to get in trouble with the state for sure. Where now the Attorney General is sending us a letter saying you need to stop because that's not what this was intended for.
But we can start advocating for it to...
You could probably start advocating, definitely in Tallahassee would be where I would start.
So if you don't mind, Rex, I would absolutely. So I think Kelly, you and I little bit. But I think this was a test case, because until the school zones were allowed, it was completely preempted in the state of Florida. Where if you come from California, Arizona, anywhere in the Midwest really, and some of the northeastern states, speed cameras are used constantly. They have speed trailers, they put vans out that are unmarked on the side of the road, and you just get a ticket because it has cameras and speed radar all over it, laser. I think this was sort of a test case, and to Rex's point, you always get in trouble when you push too far, right? So I think as this moves forward and it's successful, like Rex mentioned, an 80% reduction in speeding violations in those school zones is astronomical. So I think state legislators and the House and the Senate, they're watching this, and as it becomes more, normative throughout the state, I think this was just the camel's nose under the tent, and you're gonna see those regulatory language loosen up to allow that in other places. And I think parks are a great step in that direction. So I would definitely reach out to your state representatives and say, hey, and we'll be happy to get you the actual state law to reference and say, hey, we'd like to expand this. Because it would be an expansion of pre-existing authority. It wouldn't be a whole new program.
Right.
So I think we can get you that information, and you guys can do with it as you will.
Great, thank you. All right, thank you very much.
And then just one last thing, by the end of the year, we should be in all the schools in the city, and we'll have over 900 cameras in our schools to keep our kids safe.
Fabulous. All right, thank you. All right, really quickly, we're gonna wrap up. If you are sending a flyer to CCNA that you want put on the website or in a newsletter, please have plain text included in your email so that sight impaired people are able to know what it is you're going to be having an event about, because sight impaired readers can't read a PDF attachment. So just a simple text, what it is, when it is, what time it is, and that they should come, okay? So we can include that in our announcement. It is time for you to pick up your signs. Oh, Flo has an announcement.
I was told by a member, if you watch the commission meetings on Channel 19, you can no longer see them. So if you want to watch the meetings, you'll have to go to the city's website or their Facebook page. Thank you.
Review event. It's riveting, especially the workshop this week. I'm just messing with you, ladies. Thank you everyone for coming. Please, please, please put your chair on a rack. Don't leave it sit. You can leave your tent cards here. We'll pick them up. That's why they don't disappear. Don't forget, next month is our holiday party, board announcement, and our neighborhood award. Take your signs, put them out, and don't forget to go down and check out the mobile command center. It's very, very cool. Thank you, everyone. I'm not going to say meeting adjourned because I still want you to do those things. Have a great week.